What's up, everybody? It's the assassin Matthewhammarmp here, and you're about to watch Off the Top Rope with my man, the Loudmouth. Enjoy.
Hey guys, it's your boy here, the CPW All Africa Heavyweight Champion, the Loudmouth. Now, before the video gets posted here with Matthew Hammar, there's a few things I want to address. First of all, the Loudmouth Appreciation Society has got a disclaimer in the front of it saying that any views expressed here are those of the Loudmouth and do not reflect any of the views of CPW or the management. Now, be that as it may, I am still representative of the promotion, and I need to be fair and objective when I interview people. This is why I decided to do Off the Top Rope, so that people can be asked the hard questions, how they feel, how they want to react to professional wrestling, because professional wrestling at the end of the day is subversive. What one person's going to enjoy, another person's not going to enjoy. What you deem is acceptable in some ranks is not going to be acceptable for everybody. So once again, the views that are expressed by the professional wrestlers on Off the Top Rope are not reflective of the policies and procedures of Champions Pro Wrestling, Mark Beal as the owner, or any of the champions represented here, including the World Heavyweight Champion Mr. Wrestling, the Commonwealth Champion Ananzi, myself, the All Africa Champion, or our Tag Team Champions. This is for entertainment purposes. It is to give you an insight into professional wrestling and the minds of the professional wrestlers that we have on the show. If there is a comment that you are not happy with, please address it with the wrestler themselves and don't go to social media. We're grown-ups here. We want what's best for professional wrestling. So if you've got a problem with anything, deal with it with the professional wrestler at hand. Once again, this is for entertainment purposes. I'm an entertainer. This is what I do. So here's the interview with Matthew Hammar. Enjoy.
In conjunction with specialized supplements.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and denominations, the man that you see on screen with me is one of the most exciting talents in South African wrestling. Matthew the Assassin Hammar. How are you, friend?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Don?
All right, man. So you enjoying the life there in Louis Boteville?
Yeah, it's good. It's quiet. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Away from the hustle and bustle of Johannesburg?
Yeah, it's quite a big change, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Farming your cows yet?
No, not yet, sadly, no.
Still keeping your eye on the
Get there
wrestling,
soon,
though?
though. Yes. Sadly, there hasn't been too much training up here since the whole COVID thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, but there might be a show coming up here in October. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that from Tornado. So
All right.
hopefully I'll be on
Awesome.
that.
Awesome, man. All right. So you've been keeping your eye on professional wrestling, as I know you do.
Yes.
Man, there's been a lot happening.
Lots happening lately.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the CM Punk thing?
It's a long time coming.
You reckon?
It was a good moment. It was a good moment.
Yeah. You happy with it?
I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table and how he can change up AEW. The AEW needs some big veterans that can come in and help the younger guys get over and become stars. And
Yeah.
I think he can offer a lot to the table.
Yeah. Well, I was speaking with Angelico the other day, because I was a bit concerned about how they structure the matches. Because they've got all these
Yes.
guys there, they've got all the guys on the show that everybody's doing a super kick, everybody's doing a dive to the outside,
Yeah.
everybody's doing the same
It
things.
kind of
and
feels like in the first and second match, every move, every spot's been done sometimes.
yeah. Do you feel that it's too much too soon to do things like it in the first match? Or I know you being a high flyer, you're okay with the first match, you
Yeah.
know, diving off a 50-foot scaffold and things like that. You're okay with it, but in your opinion, does that diminish the main event slightly, or do you think it's okay because the characters in the main event, like the Elite or the Young Bucks or Pentagon or Ray
Yeah.
Phoenix, or they're pulling it through with their character, but they're still
Yeah.
doing the same moves?
I think the first match has a big responsibility to set the show up and give the show a good opening, get the crowd excited for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But I sometimes feel that the guys go a bit too far and they might overdo it a bit to the point where they might exhaust the fans and give them too much and leave the rest of the guys with nothing to actually do, no big spots to do, because you've kind of seen everything in the first match.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good to have a big first match with big spots and big opening, but you need to keep in mind what the other guys are going to be doing later, and you don't want to take away from what they're going to be doing.
Sure. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
with you getting your roots in Durban first, and then coming up to Joburg here, you did a lot of first and second matches in the beginning. Do you feel that
Yes.
you being showcased so early in an event kind of takes away the takes away the power of what Matthew Hammar can bring to the ring?
Not necessarily. I think it's best to always keep the veterans or the main guys on last. The new guys need to cut their teeth. They need to learn. It's better for them to be in the opening matches or even sometimes in the mid matches, just to keep them. You don't want to let a young talent that's green show. Well, you don't want to let the people know that they're green. You want to highlight new people's talents and not expose their weaknesses.
Right.
So yeah, putting these guys in the first or second match, it works as long as they've got someone that can lead them along and help them along and show them what they need to do. But yeah, going up in the first or second match, it was beneficial for me.
Okay. It also puts a lot of pressure on you, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bit nervous when you're the first match. If it's your first match ever and you're on the first match of the show, it can be a little nerve-wracking.
Now, with where you are currently in your career, if some of the people that are watching, if you've never seen what Matthew the Assassin Hammar can bring to the ring, you've modeled your style pretty much on Will Ospreay.
A lot of it, yes, and a little bit of Daniel Bryan too.
Okay. Do you feel being a smaller guy, you looked at those guys and said, hey, listen, if a guy like him or Zack Sabre or Daniel Bryan or them can make it, being we're not going to say short, but being a guy that's a bit smaller than the other guys, you kind of have a bit more to prove.
Yeah, you always like a lot of times people would say Daniel Bryan, he always had to work a lot harder than a lot of the other people's to get noticed. Being a smaller guy, you kind of have to know your spot. You kind of have to know that you might not ever get to a big point in your career because of your size, but you have to find a way to make yourself different or find a way that you can add to the show in any way possible. Like, you can't let your size limit you. You have to understand that because you're a small guy, you are limited in some elements, but you need to find ways around them to kind of highlight your strengths.
Yeah.
In a way.
Okay. So what was that?
Sure, you can't let your size be a weakness.
Right. What was the first match that you ever watched that you said, man, I can do this?
By far, my favorite match of all time was the triple threat match at Armageddon in 2008 between Jeff Hardy, Triple H, and Edge. Mostly because I was a huge Jeff Hardy fan as a kid, and that moment to finally see him win the actual WWE Championship, that was probably my favorite moment, like, growing up. But the match that made me really want to do it was probably the 2006 Armageddon ladder match, the Fatal 4-Way ladder match with Brian Kendrick and Paul London, the Hardys, and Eminem and Regal, and that's like, what's the name? Yeah, that match was it was insane, and there was a lot of crazy spots in it, and it just looked really fun. I wanted to give it a try.
Yeah, and then when you got into your first ladder match, all of a sudden all the happy feelings went away.
Yeah, it's not too pleasant being hit by a ladder or falling off one for that.
Or getting sandwiched in between one.
But yeah, it was still a memory, still a moment.
Yeah.
You'll never forget it.
Yeah, every time I look at a metal ladder and I'm like, yeah, no, that's you bringing back PTSD.
Yeah, you don't look the same way as you did when you were a kid.
No, not. Mm-mm. And guys, for those of you out there, in America they use, I wouldn't say doctored ladders, but they use ladders that are more prone to falling in, or tables that are wooden. We don't do that
Yeah.
here. We don't do that here. We go through metal tables and that
We
type of
kind
thing.
of just go to the shop and
pick
get
up
what they
whatever's
got.
there.
A lot of the
Yeah.
times it's a genuine ladder
Yeah.
or a genuine steel table.
Yeah, plenty of 380 Rand receipts getting a steel table from Macro.
Yeah.
So you talk about those the Armageddon matches in 2006 and 2008. What up until this point in South African wrestling has been your favorite match?
I loved a lot of the Ananzi and Angelica work. They work together really well. You and Ananzi had a really awesome match a couple of years ago. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to pinpoint out.
Okay.
All
right. Well, what's
a lot of Ananzi's work. I love watching Ananzi.
Okay. All right.
He's got quite a highlights of different matches throughout his career that I've enjoyed.
No. Okay. We those matches are aside. What's your favorite match that you've been involved in?
Probably the last Wrestle Monsters and the triple threat match with Super Dragon and Alessio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was the one where you bust your lip open.
I think we all really pushed the envelope. We really gave it all that night, and all of us, I think, we gave it all left in the ring. It was a really good match, and what I think from my part.
That was the lip one, right?
Yeah. Oh no, that was actually, I think, the year before.
All right. Okay. All right.
That was a one-on-one match with me and Alex. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Was that your fault or Dum Dum's?
I don't really know. Like it was just an accident. It wasn't really anyone's fault. Like he was doing a moonsault off the top rope to the outside, and I guess I caught him with my face. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's your fault.
Yeah, his elbow basically just hit. Maybe his elbow whacked me in the face as I got him. So.
Oh no, maybe you didn't catch him. You're trying to catch him with your face.
I caught him. I perfectly caught him. He was fine, but he gave me a good knock with his elbow on the way down. We were all good. We still carried on with the match.
Yeah, it's like the time where Hataru jumped over the top rope, and instead of going forward to try and catch him, I went backwards like it, and he sat right on my freaking head.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
way of landing on you awkwardly.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, the PTSD of watching somebody fly over the top rope and just waiting for them just to. You hope to God you avoid anything.
Almost like the whole incident happens in slow motion.
Yeah. And you said you just standing there underneath going, this is going to be painful as hell. And then it's elbows and knees and teeth all out and all
that ring was actually quite high. I think that was actually like the highest ring I've ever competed in. So like, yeah, he fell quite a way down.
Yeah, it was a long way. It was a long way. What is your goal?
Yeah.
Because now you're not wrestling as much out there, and I know you still available for all the promotions. Yeah. What is the goal for Matthew Hammar within the next 5 years?
The moment, kind of just waiting for the whole COVID thing to clear up. Like, if there's a show, I'm going to try my best to get onto the show. Like, I want to just carry on wrestling, get better keep on getting better, keep training, keep learning. I want to just be able to get booked on any show that I want to get booked on, and I want to always be able to provide a way or give away for myself to be valuable on any show that I get booked for. In the next couple of years, I would also like to open up a training center somewhere. Like, I really feel like wrestling needs to grow in South Africa, and really wrestling needs to expand. And there's certain areas in the country that are really big areas, and there could be big hotspots that need another training center that could just help wrestling grow in South Africa.
Right.
And
Okay.
otherwise, from that, I'd also love to just save up a little bit and maybe head overseas and wrestle a few matches internationally for the first time.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Right now,
Yeah.
now with with where you being on now, for those people who don't know where Leeudoringstad is, it is kind of rural. Are you managing to get your weight training in as well as your fitness and your flexibility training? Because you still got to be able to do all the flips and things like that. Has it been hard for you to keep up that part of the training?
Yeah. And Berteville being, it is a very small town, so there's not many gyms or anything like that around. So mostly I've been getting a lot of the equipment for home and stuff, and I've managed to build myself up a little gym here at home, and still get in my gym every day and still do my cardio and everything. But yeah, with ring wise, we do get to train every now and again. Tornado's got the ring up at the resort, so it's about like an hour's drive away. So every now and again, me and the guys get together from Rockstar Wrestling. We go up and we train sometimes. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
but the whole lockdown thing is a bit of a bummer. So slowly we're going to get back into it. Like I said, hopefully in October we're going to have that show, and it'll be the first thing we've had in a few months. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Now, you have wrestled quite a variety of people in South Africa up until this point. Who do you still want to wrestle in South Africa that you feel not only would you have a good match with, but it's one of those things where you feel you have to wrestle them just to create a bit of legacy?
I haven't had a one-on-one match with the Nunzi yet, so I'm looking forward to having a one-on-one match with the Nunzi one day.
Yeah.
I've had a few tag team matches that always went well with them, but yeah, a one-on-one match with the Nunzi would definitely probably be on the top of the list. And definitely maybe Cowboy.
Okay.
He's an interesting one. And yeah, I'd like to do more with Alex as a tag team. I think tag team wrestling is an underappreciated thing here in South African wrestling. It's the thing that doesn't get enough attention. I'd love to do more tag team work with Alex. Johnny Palazzo is a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Interesting. And when you left Joburg, you were in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Are you still in good shape? Do you still have abs, or have you gone the way of Vissa?
No. I'm still slightly in shape. I haven't gone the way of Vissa yet. I'm okay.
Man,
I'm looking to get into better shape, going towards the first show back in a while. So in
I
October, I hope to be in pretty good shape again.
I don't know if you have. I don't know if you've seen him lately.
No, I haven't seen Vissa in a while. No.
Yeah, he's lost 30 kilos.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's half the man he used to be.
Proud of him. Wow.
Yeah. You must see him move in the ring. He can almost go over the top rope now. Don't tell him I said that. He doesn't watch the show, so that's fine.
Well, he doesn't have Facebook, so don't worry.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty safe from there. Right, Matt. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. The standard questions. Everybody gets asked one or two of these questions in variations. You get to do a triple threat match.
Yeah.
Any wrestler, any company, any era. You and who are your two triple threat opponents?
It's a hard one. I think definitely Daniel Bryan would have to be one of them.
Okay.
And probably the second one would probably be between Will Ospreay or Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what iteration of Daniel Bryan? Are we talking about Bryan Danielson in ROH? Are we talking about Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 round about there?
Well, if it was me, Ray, and Daniel in a match, I would love for Daniel to go that heel that he went a couple years back, that vegan heel.
All right, okay.
Man, I enjoyed that run. But also like the old school American Dragon. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
beat that.
Did you ever watch the match of him and Nigel McGuinness for ROH in the UK?
Yes,
The one
yes,
where
that was a really good match.
he had his hands like that and he pulled in like this and he posted straight in his head. Man, that was brutal. That was
Yeah.
brutal. Right. I'm going to ask you about a few matches that have happened recently. And I want
Okay.
your opinion on them. Was Dragunov and Walter 2 better than Dragunov and Walter 1?
Hmm. I think more people saw it and it's more spoken about than the first one. The first one was kind of like almost like a hidden gem. Like people knew
Yeah.
about it, but the vast majority of people didn't know about it. I don't know. I think it could have been slightly better than the first one, but it's hard. They were both just really phenomenal matches. Like,
Oh, yeah.
wow, those guys were really just trying to kill each other.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Right, so we got that match. Then we got Roman Reigns versus Edge.
Hmm.
Was that a better match than Edge versus Randy at WrestleMania?
Was it the Force Count anywhere? No, that was the Force.
That's the one.
What match did that WrestleMania? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the one.
I feel like it was a good match, the Force Count anywhere, but I feel like it was kind of limited because they were still kind of getting used to the no crowd environment. And especially with it being the first WrestleMania without a crowd, I think the match suffered a little bit.
All right.
But the match with Edge and Roman, it was good storytelling. I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to have to give it to the match with Edge and Roman.
Right. Edge and Roman.
Had there been a crowd, the first match could have gone different, though.
Okay, fair enough. Edge and Roman or Edge and Seth Rollins?
It's a hard one. I think, I don't know, anything Roman's doing nowadays is just on pure fire. That storytelling that he has, that ability that he has to just ooze what it means to be a star. But the actual ring work could have been better with Edge and Seth. Like, I think they had better actual ring work than Edge and Roman did. Their match was more storytelling.
All right.
So it's just a matter of if you prefer storytelling or if you prefer the actual in-ring work. But I might have to give it to Roman. I'm a big fan of what Roman's doing lately.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair.
Roman and Edge.
Yeah. Okay. Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill?
Bianca, any day. Like, Jade has the look, and she could definitely be a star in the future. But I think they've rushed her and they've put her on TV before she's ready. And they have a way of highlighting her weaknesses when they need to be trying to find ways to hide them.
Right. Okay.
Bianca's got it. She's going to be a star.
Right. Okay. Rick Boogs or Elias?
I like Rick. He's good. He's charismatic, but I kind of think that he's kind of just taking Elias's gimmick and he's not really doing too much with it. But I guess he is limited by what WWE actually tells him to do.
Yeah.
Elias had something special, but he's suffered a lot during the COVID without the fans because his gimmicks, his promos, his stints, they need fans. You can't do his stints without fans. So he suffered a lot during the pandemic era, but I'm gonna have to give it to Elias. When he was in his prime, he had something special, but they didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah. Do you think Elias would benefit from having a feud with Rick Boogs as the musician versus the musician who's got the better guitar skills or wrestling skills or things like that? Do you think he'd be able to rescue his gimmick by doing that?
Potentially. It sounds like an interesting feud.
Right.
Yeah. I could see that happening, but
okay.
Could be something interesting to watch, but yeah.
Right.
I think WWE's given up on Elias now at the moment. They want to change him.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to reboot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to stay fresh. In South Africa, it's kind of easy because we don't have as regular shows. But I mean, they're in the States. You know, I
Yeah.
think longevity is a thing of the past because
Yeah. You got
guys
to be
are.
able to adapt and change.
That's it. If you look, I mean, Jericho's had 6 major gimmicks in his career,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
each one has been
He's the master of changing it up and keeping it fresh.
exactly. Do you think now, going back to that now, just a question off the top of my head, do you think that hurts the business, or do you think that um creates a better expression of what a wrestler can be?
Or changing up your gimmick a lot, or
Yeah. Do you think it's a hindrance to a wrestler because he
yeah.
keeps on changing his identity, or do you think it's actually a
Mm.
good thing because now guys can actually express themselves and actually not go into, oh, he's a high flyer or he's a submission guy,
Yeah.
or that type of thing?
No, I don't think changing up your gimmick is annoying unless you change it to something that the fans don't want, or unless it's like a downgrade of what you had before. I
Yeah.
think always keeping it fresh and changing it up, as long as it's done right, can always be a positive thing.
Okay. All right. Who, in your opinion, at the moment, across any company, could really use a gimmick change?
In all honesty, I think Kenny Omega a little bit. Like, if you look at Raw and you see Bobby Lashley, he's just a beast.
Yeah.
And you look over at SmackDown, Roman, same thing. He's a beast. They're both stars. Take one look at them. They are stars. They are
Yeah.
serious. Kenny Omega, he's got the star look. He's got the star ability, but it's almost like he's not taking his run as seriously as he could.
Right.
Like, I feel like if him and Don get a bit more serious and they didn't joke off as much, I guess they're just trying to be heels, but I don't know. I'm not really into the whole jokey heel thing.
Right.
I think as their main champion, he can be a bit more serious.
Right. So, would you change Kenny as the AEW champion?
No, at the moment, I think he's doing a pretty good job. They still need to be building up Adam Page. I think he's the next one that they need to maybe get ready to put that belt on. But he's had a lot of stop-start push, and they seriously need to just get behind him properly and push him properly, because that guy's going to be a big star going forward. So at the moment, Kenny's a good champion. I would just like to see a bit of a gimmick change with him.
Right. Okay. Right. So you wouldn't change him as champion. What about, we when we talk in wrestling, we always talk about the money's in the chase. It's the chase to be.
Yeah.
The chase is where the money is at. You want to watch somebody always strive for the belt. You want to pay to watch somebody get that belt. And you want to see a heel like Kenny Omega getting his ass whipped all the time. He just manages to squeak out a victory.
Yeah.
Do you think that in AEW, the champions, the main singles champions, are wrong? Kenny should have the TNT title for the smaller, quicker guys, the more showy guys, and Miro as the big heel, muscular things like that, getting all these guys, the plucky underdogs, just to go at him all the time. And he keeps on beating them back, and the opponents get stronger and stronger and stronger until he meets that baby face like an Adam Page, somebody like that will go and give him that match and actually have the AEW crowd say, okay, he deserves to be champion because he beat the demon, so to speak.
Yeah. It'd be good to see Kenny in the TNT picture. I think he could help elevate a lot of the younger guys. But at the moment, Miro's doing well. I'm enjoying what he's doing. He's certainly elevating the TNT title. He's certainly elevating himself. It was much better than the whole best man thing that he had going on like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I don't think he has as big a draw as Kenny does. I think Kenny's got the bigger follow at the moment when it comes to the wrestling fans. And out of anyone in the company, he's definitely like the biggest name they have there at the moment. Well, besides Punk, obviously, but you can't just slap the belt on Punk straight away. But But yeah, I think a good feud between him and Punk, with Punk chasing Kenny for the title, could be pretty good.
Yeah, I heard Kenny was
I don't
carrying.
know if Miro was in that spot, it would be the same kind of
Yeah,
rivalry.
yeah. I heard that Kenny's carrying quite a few injuries. That's why he's dropped the we say the marginal titles, like the Impact title and the AAA
Yeah.
title and things like that. So I heard they protecting him. If you notice, he hasn't wrestled in a while. So they keep
I've
him
been noticing that.
they keeping him one side because he's been carrying so many injuries. Do you think now as a wrestler that has worked through injuries, we've all worked through injuries. Do you think that he's afraid that if he takes the time off to heal, that when he comes back, it won't be as impactful as his current run?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think he feels like he's at his stride at the moment, and he's with the belt collector, and he's in a big run at the moment. I think he feels that if he steps away now, it's not going to have that same momentum and same push when he comes back. He's not
Yeah.
going to be as over as he was, as he currently is now.
Okay.
But
Um.
yeah, I think it's a good idea to drop a few of the other minor belts. It's going to definitely help him keep
Right.
going with AEW. AEW doesn't really have anyone they can give the belt to right now. Maybe besides John Moxley, but I don't think that would be a good idea to just put the belt back on John Moxley. The ideal feud would be to help set up Kenny versus Punk. I think that would be their biggest money drawing feud at the moment.
I've had this idea in my mind for a while because now, All Out's going to take place tonight. We're filming this on a Sunday, by the way. All Out's happening tonight, and it's the final match of Jericho and MJF. Do you think now, in a booking scenario, that MJF, although he's only 24 years old, would be the person to take the title of Kenny and have Punk get around to MJF and get around to the title that way?
I would just think AEW hasn't been pushing MJF well lately. I don't know. I don't think many people are too interested in the final match between him and Jericho. It's just been going on for so long now, and he's already beaten Jericho 3 times. Like, this can only end one way, with Jericho either beating him or MJF beating him a 4th time, and I don't know. What's really the point?
Yeah, it's
MJF has a lot of potential, but he needs to get away from Jericho, and he needs to seriously start racking up some wins against some other people. I don't know. The first couple of wins were good. They boosted him up, but he needs to go and do something else right now.
Yeah.
Jericho's kind of dragging him down a little bit right now. It's becoming a bit stale.
All right. Do you think Jericho's working with him because he knows that at the moment MJF is the long-term plan for the company?
Yeah,
Because
definitely. Like, I can see that. He's definitely the guy. Him and Adam Page are definitely the guys that they want to be building up, and obviously Darby Allin. But for the main belts, definitely MJF and Adam Page.
Right. Okay.
He could easily be their biggest heel, and Adam Page could easily be their biggest face.
Yeah. I think although they're bringing in a lot of guys, you can start to see the guys that are coming in that have longevity, that they go, okay, we can have this as a long-term solution to our problem going forward. In 10 years' time, these are the guys that's going to have. And correct me if I'm wrong, NJF is one, Darby Allin is one, Will Hobbs is another guy that is just
definitely
phenomenal,
that guy.
phenomenal. And
he's got the look, he's got the strength. He's going to be a star.
Yeah. And I've been looking at the stuff, and you can see the guys that they really put, that they're really putting effort into, because those are the guys that are getting seen on a regular basis. Angelico is a guy that's getting a lot of screen time at the moment now with Matt Hardy and Private Party and things like that.
Matt Hardy.
Yeah, the guys from the tag team from Private Party as well, they're just phenomenal. So you're starting to see where their thinking is going, because these are the guys that now you're not putting into major storylines, but you're seeing them every single week. And you're not only seeing them on
Yes.
Dynamite, you're starting to see them on Rampage. You're starting to see them on After Dark. They're starting to be wheeled in different storylines, and I think that's something at the moment that WWE is not doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They kind of just have a spur of the moment kind of idea. They get an idea and they kind of just go with it without actually thinking it through properly.
What is the E's problem at the moment?
Big
Is
E.
it Vince? Is it Bruce and John Laurinaitis taking over? Is it the fact that they've released so many people, or is it the fact that they're just not interested in making stars at the moment? And I wanted to hear the
I think
answer.
they're
Then
still
I'll
interested
hear
in
something.
making stars, but they don't know really how to in this day and age. Like that, I don't know. They haven't been hands-on with NXT. The whole NXT thing is kind of a big mess up at the moment. Like I feel like from the start, when people get signed to WWE, Vince should have an eye on them. Like Vince needs to be notified. These are the guys we've hired.
Mm-hmm.
What is your Vince? What is your ideas for this guy? What do you see this guy going for? They need to give him pictures. They need to give him videos. They need to tell him what he can do, what he can't do. Just give Vince a background of what the guy can do. And Vince can, from the start, be like, okay, this is what my image is for the guy. Get him ready for this image.
Yeah.
Because right now they kind of just get signed to NXT. Triple H has an idea for them, and when they get to the main roster, that idea that Triple H had isn't what Vince wanted, so they kind of have to go back to the drawing board and start over.
Right.
And it's just like, what was the point of NXT then? Because NXT was supposed to get them ready for the main roster, so they've kind of messed up their whole development system now.
Okay, there's two schools of thought. There's two schools of thought now. One is that Vince is devaluing the company so that he can sell it to Disney. The second one,
I've been hearing a lot of rumors about that.
Yeah, the second one is they want to take NXT back to what they did with FCW and Ohio Valley Wrestling, because 2002 was the watershed for the farm development talent, because you had 2002, you had Brock, you had Cena, you had Randy, you had Shelton Benjamin. You had so many guys coming out of that 2002 class, and that farming system worked because the guys that were working the farming system went to Vince and said, listen here, these are the guys you should bring up. This is what they bring. This is what they can do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They also weren't overexposed on TV every week. They were fresh when they got to the main roster.
Exactly. So now you've got the sell-off and you've got the development territory. You're Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
The genetic jackhammer. How do you book? Which one as you, Vince, do you take? Do you take the money and run? Or do you reinvest in development and do it differently?
Yeah, if I'm Vince at the moment, like you got to look at his age. He's getting up there.
Put on your Vince voice.
It's all about what he wants to be doing. Sorry?
Put on your Vince voice. Come on.
I don't think I have a Vince voice.
Come on, do it.
God damn it.
Damn it, Johnny. Sort this out. God damn it.
I don't know.
Which one are you taking, Vince? Are you taking the money or are you going for the honey?
It all depends on how much he actually cares about the future of wrestling. But yeah, I think what I think he's going to do is he's probably going to end up selling it and get the biggest payday he's ever made in his life, and he's going to be done with wrestling, sadly.
Would he then go to Disney and say, listen here, we're selling you the company, but as a proviso, you're keeping Triple H, you're keeping Stephanie, you're keeping those two, and I'll sell the company to you. You do that, I'll sell.
I think he'll definitely put in some guidelines that he would want to carry on while he's gone. Yeah, I don't think he's going to just completely abandon everyone and everything. I definitely think there's going to be some set standards that he's going to want to keep before he just goes.
Okay. All right. Before we go, And this has been a very illuminating interview, and I would like to thank you very much for your time, especially on a Sunday. Have you seen
No
the
problem.
have you seen the brackets for New Japan?
No, I haven't.
Haven't you?
What's coming up with them?
Woo-wee. They've put Sonata as the head of Group B, and they've put Okada as the head of Group 1.
Oh wow.
And in the Okada group, they've got Okada and Naito together
Just for the G1 coming up.
for the G1.
What's this? Oh wow.
Well, they've got Sonata and Tamatonga in the bottom with Evil. Suzuki's in Group 1.
I would like to see Sonata step up. Like, he's had so much potential for so many years, but I just feel like he always lacks that certain something when it comes to charisma or personality. He's just a phenomenal wrestler. I'd like to see Sonata step up, play a bigger role this year.
Okay. It's a tough one because they've put a Okada and Naito in the same group, and if you were going to choose a winner of the G1 Classic, it would either be, it would be either Okada or Naito, or Ishimori. I don't know.
Hey,
Who
I
would
wouldn't
you?
mind a return of the Rainmaker, man. Like the original Rainmaker back a couple of years ago when he was dominating and he had his longest championship reign.
Yeah.
I think like Okada's kind of stepped back these past few years, and he's let the younger guys like Jay White and Will Ospreay come in and get their time. But I think Okada needs to come back and remember the real Rainmaker,
Right.
reclaim his throne. I think that's what New Japan currently needs at the moment.
Would that be your pick, the G1?
Yeah, I would go with Okada.
Yeah. I'd like to. I agree with you. I'd like to see Sonata step up.
Yeah,
I would like to see
too.
Sonata step up. On that bombshell, Matthew, we have come to the end of this interview, and I'm going to ask this question. I asked Ananzi, and it caused some issues, and I've asked other people, and they've expressed their opinion. Who is the one, or what is the one gimmick, locally or internationally, that you don't like? You don't get it. You're indifferent to the wrestler. You're indifferent to the gimmick. If the gimmick comes on TV, you turn it off. Which one is it?
Clown character. Anything? Yeah, I can't get behind a clown character.
Oh man, you guys are gonna get me into so much trouble. Why?
I'm sorry. No, I've got nothing against the people that play the characters. It's just for me, I love wrestling and I don't like it to be looked at as a joke form. Or if you have a gimmick, I get comedy gimmicks like Toriyanu or whatnot, but don't try and make your gimmick a complete joke. Don't try and make wrestling a joke. I don't know. I love wrestling too much to make it ever look like a joke or make it seem anything less than amazing or serious. So, no, I don't hate anyone. I've got nothing against people that play clown characters. But just personally for me, when a clown character does come up, that's when I'll look away.
Oh boy. You guys are gonna drop me in the shit, I can see it. Alright guys. Matthew, once again, thank you very much for your time.
Man.
It's been very insightful. We'd love to see you
awesome.
around. We hope to see you in CPW soon. You had some great matches
definitely.
with them, and we'd love to see you again in a wrestling ring. CPW, Rockstar, whoever it may be, AWA, whoever it may be. We want to get you back into the ring.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to doing shows again.
Yeah, hopefully not killing yourself.
No.
All right,
I'll be good.
This has been Loudmouth Presents Off the Top Rope, uncensored, uncut, and raw. Cool. Where is the stop button?